What's up guys, my name is Adriel Rivera and today I'm going to show you how to make vocals sit on beat in FL Studio so we can get something like this.
Fine. Feel like I'm trying to win you back. Feel like you do not remember our past. Feel like I'm dying to fly and I'm lifting you up, but you are the drag. Love fragile as a paper airplane. Swerving out the way, guess that's fair game. Try to tell you that I'm sorry for the things I did. Got me pounding like a kid and I'm feeling insane.
Alright, before we start this video, I wanted to say that this is actually not my song. This is actually my friend Press's song that I'm featured on, and it's called Lost in Love. And this song is part of Press's new mixtape called Promised Land. So if you want to give it a listen, I highly recommend it. I put a link down in the description so you guys could check it out. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. We just hit 400 subscribers last night, and literally it was less than a month ago when we first hit 300. So the channel's been getting so much traction in such a little bit amount of time, and that honestly makes me so excited for what's to come in the future. So if you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, and let's get on with this tutorial. So first things first, I want to say that this isn't a how to mix your vocals tutorial. This is more so a video on how to make your vocals blend in with the rest of the song. And obviously, you're going to need to mix your vocals really well if you want it to sit well in the beat that you made or that you downloaded. So if you want to see a tutorial on how to make your vocals sound professional in FL Studio, there's a card up here that you can click to bring you to that video. And I know I always plug this video, but I'm honestly so proud of it. And it's such a good tutorial on how to make your vocals sound better. It's super simple and it's super effective. So go give that video a watch if you haven't already, because that video is going to show you exactly how to mix your vocals like how I did in this song. So first things first, let's move on to when I start singing in the song, just so I could give you guys a little bit more tips on how to make your vocal blend in well. So if we give just the vocal by itself a listen.
Yeah. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier.
It sounds perfectly mixed, but the problem is when we bring it back with the rest of the song, it sounds too flooded out.
With your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before.
And it sounds way too behind the beat. It's too quiet. You hear the beat more so than the vocals. And whenever somebody's listening to music, they always notice the vocals first. So you want to make sure that that's the thing that's the most present. And you also want to make sure it sounds good with the rest of the song too. So if you watch my vocal mixing tutorial, you'll know that I put all of my vocals and the backup vocals into one bus, which I have over here called Adriel Verse Vocals Bus. And in this bus, I have all of the effects that I run through for my vocals, but it also works as a master volume for all of my recorded tracks. So if you notice, if I grab the fader and I play the song,
with your friends at school,
and I bring it up,
fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before.
I can increase or decrease the volume of my vocals. So obviously, since it sounds a little quiet, what I'm gonna wanna do is I'm gonna wanna bring up the volume of my vocals so that it's not too loud, but it blends in really nicely with the rest of the song. So what I like to do when I'm mixing my vocals with the rest of the beat, I like to just play the song and move the fader while it's playing so I could adjust the volume in real time. And that just makes things a lot quicker, but a lot more effective because you can actually hear what is going on instead of guessing and checking. So that's what we're gonna do right now.
With your friends at school, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier while I was the chip on your shoulder. You and me doing things every day.
Now I think that level sounds perfect. If I were to go up a little higher,
with your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that
you can hear those vocals clearly, but the thing is that it sounds too over the rest of the beat. And if I brought that down any lower,
with your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been.
It still sounds a little bit too behind the rest of the song. So you always want to make sure that you get it in that sweet spot where it basically just blends in with everything else. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same volume as the rest of your tracks, but it should be around a little over level than the rest of your song. So I'm just gonna bring this back up.
With your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier.
And I think that sounds really good. Now, if you're messing around with your vocals and it still doesn't sound like it sits on the beat, and you've done everything I've said, I want you to take note of your reverb and your delay, because reverb and delay actually adds a lot more room to your vocals, and that also affects how it sounds with the rest of the beat. So let me give you an example. If I were to just take off the reverb and delay and we were to play it with the rest of the song.
With your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier.
It sounds a lot more present, but it doesn't sound like it's blended well. So what I would recommend when you're doing this is messing around with your reverb settings, just like how we did with the level volume. So when the song's playing, just play around with the reverb and try to get a sound that you think sounds better. So to give you an example, I'm going to play the song with the vocals and adjust the wetness of the reverb until I get it to a place that I think sounds good. So we'll play.
With your friends at school, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. fighting like I was a soldier. Well, I was the...
And you can hear there that it just sounds too roomy, too spacious, and too far behind from the rest of the beat. So I'm gonna bring back the wetness and get it to that sweet spot where it sounds like it's supposed to be there.
With your friends, that's cool, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier. Well, I was the chip on your shoulder. You and me doing things every day. All those times and memories fade away. You asking me why don't I cry? Girl, my heart is down.
So I think that sounds pretty decent. Now another thing you're probably going to want to mess with is also the delay. If we were to have the delay all the way up and you give it a listen.
With your friends, that's cool, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier.
Well, that obviously is distracting and it just sounds way too noticeable. So same thing, we're going to play the beat and we're going to mess around with the delay and we're going to see if we could get it into the right spot that we wanted to.
With your friends, that's cool, yeah, I'm fine. This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier. Well, I was the chip on your shoulder. You and me doing things every day. All those times and memories fade away. You asking me why don't I cry? Girl, my heart is down on the inside.
So that sounds really good. It's more in the background, it's not as noticeable, and it's just a nice little accent. And that little accent actually brings out the presence a lot more in your vocals. And one more way to bring out presence is actually adding more vocals into your vocal track. If you notice, in my vocals, I'm actually also singing up the octave. So we're gonna play just the vocals right now.
Yeah, yeah, this love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before.
And if you don't hear it, you'll probably notice it now.
This love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been here before. Fighting like I was a soldier. Well, I was the chip on your shoulder.
Singing up the octave or just adding more background vocals is going to make the presence of your vocals a lot more noticeable. And it also just adds a nicer sound to it. So if you notice, if I turn off my vocal up the octave and we play it back,
this love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before.
It still sounds really good, but it's a lot more bland and it's a lot less present. So if we bring this back with the rest of the beat without the higher part of the vocal.
Fine, this love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier.
You can hear how much of a difference that presence of the higher up octave vocal makes. So I'll just flip back and forth just to show you guys how much of a difference that is.
Fine, this love is taking a toll. I swear that we've been in before. Fighting like I was a soldier. Well, I was the chip on your shoulder. You and me doing
and like I said before, it still sounds good, but it sounds a lot better when you have those background vocals. And obviously those background vocals are going to be routed into the bus. So when we adjust the master volume of all of the vocals, it's going to be a lot simpler and a lot easier. Another thing you can do if things aren't sounding right is adjust the elements of the beat itself, because there can be some things like a kick drum or a snare that might be overpowering your vocals, and it's a lot more noticeable than your vocals. So adjust your beat according to your vocals, because remember, your vocals are going to be the more prominent thing that you want people to hear. Now I know this was a short tutorial, but this is honestly what I think of when I'm processing vocals and making it sound like it fits with the rest of the beat. And if you haven't already, watch that tutorial on how to process your vocals, because this will make a lot more sense if you do. And that, like I said, is honestly just a great tutorial for you to learn how to process your vocals a lot better. And speaking of that tutorial, it just reached 10,000 views. So thank you guys so much. That's my first 10K view video I've ever had. And it honestly just blows my mind that 10,000 people have watched that video. That's like double or triple the amount of people that go to my high school. So like I said, thank you guys so much. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe. Leave a like on this video if it's helped you. And tell me in the comments which one of these things you're gonna apply to your music first. Like I said, I just reached 400 subscribers, so let's keep that momentum going. And let's try to get to 500 in like a little over half a month. I know we can do it, so make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, don't be afraid to show your genius.
Chilling on the side, but I wanna dance. I wanna dance with you tonight. Running out of time, but you with your friends. You with your friends, that's cool. I'm fine. Chilling on the side, but